What's good, y'all? It's Jimmy Armstrong. Welcome back to another video. It is a brand new year. It is no longer 2023. All the mistakes you made, all the things you did in 2023 are in the past now. We are now living in the present, 2024, and we are now also looking into the future to what is going to be your next move. Should you join the Navy in 2024? Now, we know there's a lot of things going on in the world, as there always is, right? But what are you gonna do about it? How are you gonna take accountability of your own life? You can't control any of the outside factors around you. You can only control what you can control, and that is your life. So what is the next step right now? The cool thing about life is there's so many different paths that you can take. You got college, you could work a 9 to 5, you could probably work for your parents if they have that opportunity for you, right? Work for your parents' company. Or unfortunately, there is this stigma in the world, right, that the military is considered a last option. It's not a last option because there are so many benefits and opportunities presented by the military. So I'm gonna separate this video into two categories: why, reasons that you should join, and reasons that you shouldn't join. Without further ado, we're gonna start with reasons why you should join. And the first reason why you should join is because of the educational opportunities. And the one thing that a lot of people like to point out is the post 9/11 GI Bill. Now, the 9/11 GI Bill is essentially a way where the Navy will cover all costs of your tuitions of any university of your choice that applies to that bill. Now, in order to be eligible for the post 9/11 GI Bill, you have to serve at least 36 months in the United States Navy or be fully discharged, honorably discharged. After you have discharged, you will be able to qualify for the post 9/11 GI Bill. Now, you notice that there's a lot of jobs in the United States Navy, and a lot of those jobs are transferable. That would be aviation, engineering, managing computer systems, being in the medical facilities. That is also presented to you by the United States military. So instead of spending all this money and going to a trade school, you got the military. They offer specialized training for you as well. Let's say after, like, you're in the military and you don't want to re-enlist, right? You don't want to extend your contract. You think, maybe this thing is not for me. I tried it out and it's just not my cup of tea. Luckily, the military and the Navy, they offer these top resources, like workshops on how to write resumes and how to find specific job opportunities for yourself. And overall, it's just a way where you can just financially plan the best way for yourself and just set yourself up in the best way possible for life after the military. Now, as a lot of you know, the military is a commitment. You really can't get fired, right? Like a traditional job. There will be stable employment, and when you wake up, you're gonna have that job because it's a job, but it's also an agreement, it's a commitment. You swore an oath, essentially, right? To protect the United States, domestic and abroad. When you wake up, you don't gotta worry about getting laid off because the military is always gonna be there. Also, you will receive specific incentives, right? Even upon joining the military, you'll see a lot of people, they receive bonuses for striking a certain rate, and they'll receive bonuses prior to joining. Once they do join, right? Once they do join, they'll receive these bonuses. Very common amongst nukes. A lot of intel rates, like ITs and stuff, they'll receive bonuses, right? Like $20,000 plus. And also, if you do re-enlist in your contract, you'll receive a certain amount of money, right? A bonus as well. Along with those incentives, right? Let's talk about housing. The 3-letter acronym BAH. BAH is basically intended to cover like any specific costs of living, if you're living out of town, if you're living within the base, for single and married sailors and sailors with dependents. So if you are a single sailor and you decide to live out of town, you gotta be at least have dependents or be second class. Once you get paid second class, the Navy will provide you amount of money to be able to cover those costs of living for that piece of housing. Now, on base housing, the military is gonna provide you, single sailors, barracks. They're gonna live in the barracks and provided a kitchen, most likely a refrigerator, bathroom, your own room. Whether or not you may share with another roommate, that's questionable depending on the barracks room. But the military is gonna provide you a place to live, a roof over your head, and some food to eat. Now, like I mentioned previously, guys, the military is gonna provide you training, specialized training for your rate. And the crazy thing about it is you might even receive just random training just cause, right? Because and throughout the Navy, you'll notice that you'll receive these little TDYs and these little temporary duty stations that you'll attend to attend certain trainings and things of that nature. By the time you're done, you're gonna have all this training, especially a lot of training that is related within your job, and a lot of it is on the job training. Don't think that you gotta come into your new command super knowledgeable about everything and you're supposed to know how everything works, because a lot of the stuff there is gonna be on the job training. If you are a big travel buff and you love to travel, this is the brand for you. I mean, there is a lot of traveling going on here in the United States Navy, a lot of adventures. If you need more dad lore, this is definitely the brand for you. Actually, I would probably say the Marines for dad lore, but you can get a good couple stories out of the United States Navy. So if you want to travel, if you want to like get your passport, because you will be placed in places that are surrounded by a lot of different countries as well, because you might get stationed in Italy, you got Germany, you got France, you got Spain, you got all these different countries, and even Italy itself. And then you got literally down south, you got Africa and all that. All those opportunities presented to travel and to immerse yourself in different cultures. The thing is about the military is you will encounter people from a lot of different backgrounds and people that have seen a lot of things themselves. And the fact that you get to converse with a lot of these people and talk to the locals and explore in all these different countries. I've said a lot of great things about the United States Navy, and I've mentioned a lot of positive benefits, right? But now, we are entering to the reasons why you probably shouldn't join, and if you feel a little iffy about it, I'll probably take a lot of these into account and see whether or not if joining the United States military is for you. First thing, long deployments, right? If you have a fear of being away from your family members, friends, just things of that nature, and just being gone for a long amount of time. If you have a fear of being forgotten, I do not recommend joining the Navy because there are long deployments. You will be on a ship, most likely for your first command, and you will be on the sea. If you're not missing Christmas, then you're missing Thanksgiving. If you're not missing Thanksgiving, you're missing Christmas. And if you're not missing both, then you're most likely using all your leave days. There's gonna be long deployments and you will be separated from your loved ones for a good amount of time. Distance. Now, this is a common occurrence that I see a lot in the military. And this usually pertains to a lot of the relationships, married, boyfriend and girlfriend couples. This tends to be a big barrier in between a relationship, and this causes a lot of disruption within communication. Distance, right? You already have some obligation that you have to attend to at home, and you decide you want to join the United States Navy. It's going to be harder to attend those obligations if you are in the Navy because the distance is going to make it 10 times harder. If you do have a girl, if you do have a man, right, and you guys are together, be advised, distance is going to play a huge factor in this relationship. So I hope that relationship is already like, let's talk about the lack of personal freedom. You got to follow a strict chain of command. It's not like work where if you have an issue, you go discuss it to your boss immediately. So if I have a problem, I'm not gonna immediately go talk to my commanding officer, right? I'm gonna bring it down to the lowest level. You're gonna be at work for a specific period of time, and you're gonna be wearing a uniform. And that uniform is going to represent not just yourself, but an entire organization. That might not be you. The military is a business, baby. You're gonna want your employees to represent you in the best way possible. Even in boot camp, you're gonna have people dictating how your day is gonna go and what you are going to do. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and I want it done right now, and I want it done at this specific period of time. Physical and mental demands. Physical demands that are met by the Navy are probably not up to par with the other branches in the military. You do have to make sure that you're able to reach a certain milestone when you do the PRTs and the physical readiness test. It's gonna be a lot of days where it's gonna be stressful. You're going to definitely be working with people that don't necessarily mesh with your personality. That gets stressful as well because it makes your jobs 10 times harder because you gotta communicate with those people, and they make it really hard to communicate with. The mental demands and physical demands of the military are going to be taxing. High risk, little reward. I did mention that there are incentives and there are benefits that come into joining the military, but there's a chance that you'll be stationed in areas that have surrounding conflict around you, right? I'm in Bahrain, so if you take a quick Google search on where Bahrain is, you can kind of see the areas that are surrounding Bahrain, right? I take that into account every day I wake up, that I am living in a high risk location. But there is a sense of pride that comes to being in the military. So, well, for me, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but values and beliefs, right? If the things that go on in the military don't necessarily align to your values and beliefs, then that is something that I would also take account in whether or not you should join the military. And finally, commitment. If you have a hard time just sticking with one job or staying in one place for a long period of time, then I don't recommend joining the United States Navy. That might not be for you, or the military at all. That might not be for you. Boom, that's it, y'all. That's the video. Why should I join the United States Navy in 2024? Man, I hope these reasons and reasons why you shouldn't join are able to help you in this confusing kind of road of life right now. All I want to say is I appreciate you guys for showing your love and support on my videos. 2024, we're locking in. This is it. We're attacking all year, baby. This is our year. If you guys haven't already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, stay classy.
I don't wanna see no more photos. I don't wanna hear you breaking bro code. I don't wanna see no more chokeholds. What's happening, baby?